All right, today we're doing the best Call of Duty, the Warzone era. We got a Warzone shirt on today. We got the Warzone hat on today. This is the Warzone edition of the best Call of Duty, meaning the modern era. Not necessarily Modern Warfare, but just the modern era. From 2019 onward, we're doing this tier list. I'm excited to do this tier list because there's a lot of divisive standpoints and stuff. So make sure you drop your comments, your thoughts, and what you feel in terms of 2019 onward on what your favorite Call of Duty game is. Now let's go ahead and get right into it. The first game, of course, is gonna be Modern Warfare 2019. Now 2019 is a very, I just said, a split decisive game. Came right after Black Ops 4, which also is a split type of game. So back-to-back games where they're kind of on each side. It's either really overhated or really underrated-ish appreciated. Now, 2019 Modern Warfare, it didn't launch with Warzone, but Warzone came right after, and then we'll discuss that right now. But in terms of 2019 mechanics, it kind of, the maps, I would say, promoted a little bit more camping, in my opinion. I just feel like this game was a great rejuvenation, for sure, going into the idea. Now, we didn't know it at the time when it released. We didn't know that this was kind of like the route they were looking for at this point when it came down to this. Because, I mean, graphically, like, just everything, like, they were crushing it, man. Like the movement, now we got all the slide canceling stuff. It was just a lot of great stuff that really took movement to another level, I think, in my opinion. But this was just like multi at this point where I was like, okay, solid, we like it. It was not until 2019 launched Warzone. Now you got to remember too, right? It came from Black Ops 4, or it was Blackout. Like, having Black Ops 4 and Blackout, Black Ops 4 was like but Blackout was like, holy shit, you know, that's the Warzone before the Warzone, right? Alcatraz, like that's what we got for Rebirth Island now. And so Modern Warfare 2019, and then they finally get into the Warzone in 2020, and I was just like, oh shit, this is crazy. So I think without Warzone, this game is definitely mid. Warzone bumps it up to solid. Now some people could probably put this as the best new era Call of Duty game right now. I'll say I put it in solid, maybe a high solid. Coming from Black Ops 4, which is kind of like hit or miss, Treyarch game all the way. And then you come into this game, which is rejuvenation to an extent. And then again, like what I said, Warzone. So it all depends on what you think on that. But in my opinion, I think I'm going to put it as solid. But because Warzone bumped it up to a solid. When Warzone dropped, forget it, man. We're just like, holy shit, like big map BR, a real BR. And then later you get like Rebirth and all that stuff, of course, which was Blackout. And then now it's really loved, you know. So 2019 just changed the spectrum of everything. And without Warzone, I'd probably put it mid. But I think with Warzone, it's insane. So yeah, y'all gotta let me know y'all's thoughts on that stuff. Next is Black Ops Cold War. Oh my God. Personally, Warzone definitely integrated Cold War. I think that was peak Warzone in my opinion. I don't know, y'all gotta let me know on that. Cold War is very underrated when it comes to what they did in those circumstances, right? Like you're looking at like the pandemic stuff, like it was kind of rushed. I felt like the game from Modern Warfare to Cold War like really turned a lot of people off because of that. I know that people definitely appreciated it, especially if you appreciate all the prior Black Ops gameplay. But if you didn't know about Call of Duty, if you just jumped in 2019, then you're probably like, what the fuck is this? You know what I mean? But I think OGs from Black Ops era like definitely appreciated at least the outlook. You got some classic maps back. Of course, you have like Nuketown in there and everything. But peak Warzone integration with Cold War was dope. I feel that Cold War overall was fun. The zombies mode is insane. I'm gonna say right now, at least for right now, for what I'm looking at, again, I'm doing this on the fly too, so I would say it's the best new era right now. I put it over 2019 for sure. I think it started off whack, but it ended on a really good note. And I feel like the soundtracks, like if you see they had like the Biggest Smalls trailer too, like with Notorious. That's the song that they have in the trailer. Like they kind of set the tone, although it wasn't as delivered as what a lot of people really wanted. I still feel like it went back to its arcadey essential that people loved in Black Ops, and it's a Treyarch game at the end of the day. They did crush it with zombies. If you've never played zombies before and you're new to these era games, yeah, their zombies is hella fresh, dude. So, but Cold War, Warzone for sure was peak Warzone in my opinion. Obviously the launch is a game changer with 2019 and peak went in, but y'all gotta let me know what's up with that. I know that's a huge hot take that this might be the best new era right now. That's what I'm kind of looking at right now. We'll see as we keep going. All right, next is Call of Duty Vanguard. Oh my God. Now this integration comes around and forget it. It is it trashed everything. We went back to this type of well, I mean, it was already a Cold War, so we went from modern Cold War, and then you went back to this essential of a theme of OG war. I don't know, I think back-to-back games like that already like took away the flavor, but Cold War had so much flavor to it that this became bland. Now what happened was that it brought back, it was a copy and paste basically skin of 2019, but I believe Vanguard is a little bit faster, right? Hear me out. Vanguard's a little bit faster. Also, they did offer one thing that I feel that was really good in my opinion, and that was the blitz modes and stuff. I felt like that was good. That was a good idea, right? If you want your games to go by faster, you feel like you don't want to promote camping too much. And then they had the destruction and all that of the walls and everything. Again, I'm still gonna put this game in ass. When it went into Warzone also, bro, like this game was like terrible. And like I remember like it was so like glitchy and bugged, and Caldera was ass. And then I remember like they just had all these stupid graphical glitches and stuff. And I remember like it was in like at the peak of like in terms of being a fucked up game. I remember the devs just straight up went on vacation. We had like these nasty ass glitches and metas and all that shit for like a month or 2 months straight of just ass gameplay, and Caldera was terrible. I remember like a lot of people were tired of Verdansk already, but like I don't know, when this happened, it was like we saw Caldera, we're like, all right, cool, like Pacific, whatever, all that stuff, like islands, and then we see it and it's just like, what the fuck is this? And it was just ass. Like a lot of the guns were ass. They also in multi, you know, you had the way you edit your guns too was also pretty, it just, I don't know, man. The way you edit your classes and stuff in here also, too many attachments probably. I think this was like, what, the most attachments so far up until this point? Or was it Cold War that had more? I think Vanguard had the most attachments. It was just, I mean, I'm sure y'all can add a lot more shit than what I'm saying. I'm trying to just cover like the basis of it. But Vanguard was ass overall. Probably the worst Call of Duty ever in history, I think. I don't know, man. Just, hey, don't even get me started on campaigns on shit. Like, come on, man. Warzone Caldera, ass. Multiplayer, I mean, you can probably promote some competitive nature of it. It was okay, some of those maps. My favorite, though, that was really cool that they should have brought back was definitely like blitz modes and stuff. Like those options, that might be pretty cool, at least to some extent with playlists. Just bringing back that 2019 gameplay kind of scratch that itch for some people, you know what I mean? Because they brought back the Modern Warfare type movement, because you had two back-to-back games that were just so different, Modern Warfare and then you had Black Ops. Like they're different graphics wise, gameplay wise, like outlook wise, theme wise, like everything was just different. They're completely different games. So when you saw this, you're familiar with 2019, but it was a copy and paste for the most part, a little bit faster. I think Vanguard was faster than 2019 though, but it was just ass. I don't know. I just didn't really like it. All right, now that everybody was pissed off at Vanguard, I mean, at least I was an ass game. You get Modern Warfare 2. Now, Modern Warfare 2, this probably the most controversial game to at least Call of Duty in their franchise history right here. Now, I know there's a split decision between like 2019, of course, a lot between that audience. And I know there's a split decision between Cold War, a lot. And I'm talking about new era of Call of Duties. But the most controversial is Modern Warfare 2, bro, 2022. When you think of Modern Warfare 2, you straight up are looking at what the fuck happened in this game. Everything that Call of Duty was not, they basically try to make into this game. Tactical, really no pressure, eliminate movement, like running with plates, and just so much shit that was like, man. And this game sold so many units. Everybody was excited because they thought it was gonna be like 2019 part 2. They thought they were gonna bring back possibly better maps, and they just thought basically what we thought, like with the next game I'm about to say, like this game was just so controversial. It is loved by people that really admire this clunkier essence. Like everything sounded clunkier. Warzone 2.0, I felt like was mid. And that just goes into this game. That's how I'm gonna put it, mid. Warzone 2.0 was just, I mean, their maps, they had ideas. I mean, Ash Chica, Vondel, and then you had obviously Al Mazrah, but the ideas were there. I just think that this gameplay didn't fit those ideas. And again, you can go on the opposite side and be like, yo, I loved Warzone 2 movements because I'm not into sweats and movement demons. And that's true. I'm not like a movement sweat lord, but I kind of at least like the game silky smooth, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, the mantling and all that, the mantling, like holding the mantling, the stalling on the mantling, like it was just, I don't know, bro. Like, there had to been the biggest dip in viewership with this game when this game continued. Like, this game felt so long, and it sucked because when Warzone first came out, peak. And again, I'm reverting back to Warzone also. I'm integrating the games and plus Warzone within this time because, I mean, that's two different communities, of course. But I can only imagine. I think multi wasn't as terrible. It is mid. That's why this game is mid. I think everything is just so split in this game, maps wise. When I played multi, I didn't feel as clunky and slow as I did in Warzone and Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone 2.0. Warzone 2.0 felt like an ass game. I don't know. I respect people that kept playing that game after like a month or so. But yeah, multiplayer felt decent to deal with. I played multi a lot more in this one for sure. But it was, again, you either really admire this type. They really adhere to casual in this game, which is not a bad move business wise. It's not a bad move business wise. I get it. Like, they're a money making machine at this point. And so for a business standpoint, there's way more casuals that play than super competitive players and the top 5% of people, top 250 ranked and all that. And I think they did introduce the full ranked in this one, right? That was a lot better. It just, man, I don't know, man. I didn't like Warzone 2. Again, I'm not hating on the idea they had. It is great to adhere to casuals. At the end of the day, casuals are going to spend money on this game. They're going to buy the bundles. They're gonna, like, the matchmaking, the skill-based matchmaking and all that stuff. Like, I understand all that shit, bro. Like, why you would keep a casual wanting to play these games, because these games do get sweaty. And I know I have a positive KD. I'm not saying I'm badass, but it's like, I understand, bro. I've seen those lobbies where I'm like, what the fuck? And then I've seen like easier lobbies where I'm like, oh, okay. I think it was overall mid. I'm gonna put it mid because it's such a split game, in my opinion, I guess. And then we have Modern Warfare 3, which is right now. I'm actually going to put Modern Warfare 3 at solid with 2019 because this was the actual sequel that we wanted. Now, I'd put 2019 over 2023 Modern Warfare 3 because, again, it is just known as a DLC now. And it's just, all it is just backtracking and cleaning up all the horse shit that Modern Warfare 2 brought, like slower, clunkier. Like, you could still see in smaller instances that they're still cleaning up Warzone. I mean, like Modern Warfare 2 shit, Warzone 2.0 shit, like some of the clunkier things, they're still patching it up. They're still patching it up. This whole time it's been like, let's catch up. Let's bring it back to like 2019. Let's bring it back to 2019. All the movement. There's tons of movement posts, everything. That's just on a Warzone side. But the fluidity is back. Like, Sledgehammer deserves a lot of props for this game. But it is a DLC, not their fault. And they just, it was just, again, they brought back what we wanted most. This was supposed to be the actual sequel to 2019. We all fucking know that. But again, it's cool that it's even there. They brought back all the classics, which can be kind of a burnt out situation for those that have been playing those maps for a long time. But they do have new content. I think they just released like their coolest content, in my opinion. Also, y'all gotta let me know on that. That's just my opinion, though. They had some of the most, like, the best update not too long ago. The releases are solid. This game is very, very fun. But I think when you have such a long time of like a drought, it's very, very hard to come back. So that comes back to my notion of things. I played 2019, loved it. I have a 2019 poster and a Black Ops Cold War poster right here on my wall. And that's the reasoning why I put them at S and A tier, basically the best new eras in my opinion. Because I liked what they did and I liked the uniqueness of it. It was brand new to a lot of people, a lot of those two games right there. It's just, it felt like it's a drought, and Modern Warfare 3 is trying to pick up after that drought. There was like pandemic peaks, and then it was all new, and although it had its cheesy shit, like, it was bearable. Now it's just unbearable to deal with nowadays at some point. And again, when you have Modern Warfare, when you have Vanguard and then Modern Warfare 2 back-to-back years, that's a lot of time to really turn people off to the game, to where they just give up on it. They're like, yo, you know what, I'm done. I'm not gonna be playing this shit. Because that's probably their idea of what they thought Call of Duty was, you know? And those are very terrible games. In my opinion, again, state your responses. Modern Warfare 3 is just backtracking everything. And I think they're doing a great job for what they're dealt with. It's rushed. It's a DLC. And what they fucking did in Modern Warfare 2 2022 was asshole. And so I got to give them mad props for at least bringing this game back to par. I have played the most Warzone and multi and everything in Modern Warfare 3 2023 right now than I have like in the last 2.5 years, because these games right here, Modern Warfare 2 and Vanguard, were so ass in the new era, man. But yeah, that's kind of my tier list, man. Y'all gotta let me know what's up. Drop a hot take. Of course, these get very controversial when it comes down to the new era of Call of Duties, but I think Cold War, again, at the end of the day, was the best finished product at the end of it. It started off real whack, but I think it got better later. And 2019 stays in solid, not really the best, just because when it launched also, it was a rejuvenation for sure. The way it looked, the way it performed. But again, I think Warzone is what really brought it to the highest level, in my opinion. And then you have Modern Warfare 3 because it's picking up the trash in Modern Warfare 2. I didn't like the game personally, but I'll put out a mid because they did have content there. It's just controversial between a full casual and holding hands with casual, putting training wheels for casuals, or just nerfing the shit out of the whole game, which Call of Duty is not that, bro. At the end of the day, it's not a tactical game. And then ass is Vanguard, no question, man. Y'all gotta let me know what's up, though. I appreciate y'all, man, and peace.